The year was 1938. Millions of people decided to turn on their radio to enjoy several radio programs that were going to air. However, within a few short hours, there was panic across many homes throughout America. Listen to tonight's true story of the radio broadcast that caused an alarm in America in this episode of the Faith and Mystery Files. It was October 30th, 1938. That Sunday started off as any other. Many families went to church, shared an afternoon meal, and then turned on the radio for a relaxing evening. That night, Mercury Theater on the Air was going to have a special broadcast of a classic story. However, things didn't turn out as planned. At 8 o'clock p.m., the program began. Orson Welles was the narrator, and he began the play by announcing the play and setting the scene. Afterwards, a weather report was given. Then, the radio play returned with an orchestra playing in the Meridian Room in a New York hotel called Hotel Plaza Park. Yet, the music was soon interrupted by a special bulletin. The reporter stated that there were several explosions coming from Mars, and that these explosions had been detected by an institute in Chicago, Illinois. The program then went back to the orchestra. They just finished the song as people were heard clapping. The orchestra then began playing more music, until it again was disrupted by another special report. Interruptions continued as the reports announced things such as an interview with a professor, a large meteor being discovered in New Jersey, as well as a large metallic cylinder being found in which Martians were coming out of. The descriptions of these Martians were frightening, as it was said that they had large, snake-like eyes and V-shaped mouths dripping with saliva, while the lips seemed to drum. A war began to ensue, with 7,000 military personnel that was trying to fight them. By the end of the hour, people were panicking. After the broadcast, many people were calling the radio stations, police stations, and news stations, hoping to get more information. Several people in the believed to be affected area fled their homes to find safe places to stay. The Federal Communication Commission soon investigated the broadcasting company and ultimately found no wrongdoing. So, why did this happen? Why had people become so afraid of a radio program? We should first point out that the radio play being broadcast was The War of the Worlds. Orson Welles had adapted the book to become a thrilling radio experience, as he tried to get more listeners than another popular radio broadcast at the time, Charlie McCarthy. Secondly, many listeners that had been listening to other programs tuned into the War of the Worlds broadcast in the middle of its radio play. This would possibly confuse these listeners, as they wouldn't have realized it was a play. Another aspect to note is that the play script was completed only a few days before. The script was even typed out, but was written on legal pad yellow pages. A few actors had practiced their lines the next day, but Orson Welles only heard a recording of the practice as he wasn't there. At the last minute, a few hours before going on air, Orson Welles disagreed with a lot of the dialogue and rewrote several areas with the writers until it was a few minutes before they were going on the air. It wasn't until the next morning that Welles learned how much the play had affected the country. The program seemed too real that people were discussing it as they were worried. Is it possible that the radio program sounded too real? Or could it be that many people had believed it because of their own personal sightings or accounts? Is there more to this true story than meets the eye? Thank you so much for watching this episode of the Faith and Mystery Files. You can check out previous episodes or send in your own true mystery story. You can also let us know if there is a mystery you'd like us to investigate by filling out the form in the description box. Thank you again. Until next time, may God bless you.